A revolution in freedom-based investing begins right here, with Founders Group Worldwide. It all started with Bitcoin Ben, an ex-truck driver who saw that Bitcoin could power liberty itself through its groundbreaking technology. From his vision, an amazing network was built, and a growing community came together to create Founders Group Worldwide, a venture capital network for freedom, transparency, and opportunity across America and the world. Here, you, the member, are the heart and soul of the venture capital. They review, vote, and fund the ventures that will shape tomorrow's decentralized economy. From oil to Bitcoin mining, transforming energy into digital wealth. Even flare gas becomes value. Energy reborn as Bitcoin. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Clubs, where Bitcoin and blockchain innovation meets opportunity. Connecting visionaries across the world. Resorts, tangible assets that create lifestyle and return. Where investment meets experience. Real estate, building the foundations of decentralized wealth. Secured by blockchain and powered by vision. Rooted in liberty, driven by community, protected by a private membership association. Pick up the phone and call 562-526-0813 extension 7, or visit foundersgroupworldwide.com. Join the Founders Group. The new rich revolution begins now.
And we are live. Good morning, everyone. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben. It's Friday. It's absolutely Friday. And I just want everyone to know I'm in Vegas. And I am here to gamble my life away. I have decided I'm going all in on the Bitcoin. I know it's risky. I know it's just a roll of the dice, roll of the digital dice. But cryptos and the Bitcoin are the future. Now there's another future that you don't even know exists yet, because it is just rolling out. It is the value of your attention. Let me explain this to you. Why is Google so big? Why is Yahoo so big? Why are the Facebook so big? Why is X so big? Why are they so rich? Why do they have so much money? Because they are getting paid for your attention. The currency of the future is your attention. And for years, radio, television, all of these major corporations have actually gotten paid for your attention. Well, that is changing now, because attention can be monetized inside of completely decentralized communities, and profit can be set up, shared amongst the community. That's what tokenization of real world companies and real world assets bring us. See, in the old world, back in the old days, you'd actually buy a share. Trust me, my grandfather had a bunch of shares of shit companies. They'd send them like 3 cents per share per year. Woo woo. Really killing it there, Grandpa. That was the share of the profit that the shareholder got. Guys, let me tell you how this really works. Corporations would allocate share. That means they'd have a whole plan for all of this money, and they'd have a reserve account that they would accumulate reserves. But they'd accumulate it more and more and more. So they'd issue the dividends to their shareholders actually based on after they did all of their capital allocation across the company. That was them fucking everybody. That's just how it is, guys. Or how it was. Now we can set up smart contracts. Now we can directly link actual purchases to a digital contract that allocates it automatically. That's what we are working on in my companies. We are the example of the future. We're way ahead of all of these slow moving fucking corporations because they're slow moving. And plus, they don't want this system, guys. Google doesn't want this system. Let me give you an example. How many people here have a Sam's Warehouse membership or a Costco membership? I do. What if Costco set it up where if you shared their membership, if you sent your friends, think of the early days, if you sent your friends a link and said, hey, join this Costco thing, use my link, and Costco gave you a percentage of the profits of every single purchase that that person made. Think about that. Let that sink in for a second. That's the future, because we finally have a way to share, to decentralized profit for word of mouth. We can finally monetize word of mouth to the mouth that's actually moving the products. All right. In the entertainment and YouTube world and the social media world, we call it a referral. We have a referral link. Use my referral link. Well, what if the referral link actually paid you a percentage of everyone you referred? Continuously, not a one time, continuously. What if every year you got a percentage of everyone you referred to a Costco or a Sam's Warehouse or a gym membership? Think about that. If you reach a point where you really like a place, and this can be any place, this can actually be a hotel, say in, I don't know, El Salvador. Say let's say there's a resort in El Salvador. I don't know, let's call it Private Key Resort, just kind of throwing names out there. And you are an owner of that resort. You own shares in that resort. And you have a friend who's like, dude, I'm going to El Salvador, or hey, I'm thinking about going to El Salvador. And you share them a reservation link. And then they reserve a room for a week. And you make a percentage of that room. That is word of mouth advertising, and you, as an owner of the shares of the resort, you make money off of it. Do you know why? Because you're advertising. You know how much money companies pay advertising agents? A shit ton. Well, in the future, that's your money. That's your money because everyone will have a referral link. Everyone will have ev, everyone who is a member or an owner will have a referral link. That's when you switch it and you actually decentralize the ownership, but the ownership is also your marketing because they get rewarded. Not only do they share in the profits of the resort, they also get money when they advertise and see and use their link. Let's think about this. All right. What if you're an owner of our resort in El Salvador? All right. And you say, you know what? I'm going to allocate $100 a month to advertise my link on X. And once a month, you create an ad using AI. It's fucking simple as shit nowadays. And that ad is a link to your link. And they click it and it sends them to the resort website, but it's under your link. That's what's coming in the future. This is how this is how the future is going to be. Everyone asks, how am I going to make any money in the future? What's my side hustle? How am I going to get paid from something else other than Uber, self-driving cars? Right? It's going to be a sales job, but it's going to be a sales job that there will be thousands of things that you can sell. All right. And you'll earn a referral for each of the sales. And it will be in app form. All right. We all see it. Share this app. Or if you find like a new app or something, or hell, on Amazon, they already do it. If you see a product and you're one of, I don't remember exactly what they call it, like an Amazon partner or something like that, which I got screwed out of. Right? I joined Amazon's partnership thing. My first month, my referrals was over $3,000. Then they send me an email that says, I'm sorry, we are canceling your partnership. This was also when I was getting kicked off of YouTube and everything else. So they probably just looked me up and went, this guy's a little cray-cray. See, they don't want you to really make money. They want you to sign up as a referrer or a partner, but they want to regulate it. They want to regulate if you get your money. Let's see, I don't know about this guy. Yeah, we made money off him, but I don't think we want to pay him what we said we pay him. Right? That's what they did. Now, you set that up in a smart contract, they ain't got a fucking thing to say about nothing. And this is the new system that I and my companies are creating. All right. This is what we are doing. We're not waiting for the old system to figure out how to fuck us in the new system. That's not the game I'm playing. I'm not here so BlackRock and Walmart and Costco and all of these multi-billion-dollar corporations, they can't set up something like this because that eats into their profits. That eats into their corporate profits. See, that's the intention of the corporation. See, my intention is completely different. Completely different. I want to decentralize everything because it's the only way you retain freedom. How do you make America great again? You make Americans wealthier. Point blank. That's it. And for years, the system has been set up so there's some who make a lot of money. Then the rest of us kind of get Philly fucked on the way down. Now, see, they tell us, oh, I wanted to say it was like 1994, 96, where they created the 401k. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we can participate in the markets. Guys, that was a scam. All that did was flood money into a stock market with shares that were rehypothecated. You didn't own a fucking thing. It isn't like you could call up your 401k and say, hey, send me those shares. I want the paper shares. They'd laugh straight at you. They'd be like, no, you don't really own them. We allocate you a share value. See, your 401k is really just an ETF. You don't own the Bitcoin, you own the ETF. That's what 401ks are. That's what they've always been. And think about this, guys. Over $500 billion. Let this sink in. Over $500 billion a week goes into 401k. Let that sink in. Now, you would think with that much money flowing into the market, that prices would just skyrocket. Continuous. It's every week. Oh no. No. The stock market drains that out every week. How do you think all of these traders and these hedge funds and these family offices and all this other bullshit, how do you think they get paid? They get paid by subtracting the value out of the 401k. They, in Wall Street, they call it dumb money. That's the dumb money. That's our money. That's it. Because unless you're a trader and if you're a hodler of whatever, Tesla or AT&T or Ford or whatever, if you hodl those shares over a 40-year career, mind you, they're devaluing the currency the whole time. So your money, your dollar per share is losing purchasing power. The price of the share may go up, but it doesn't go up at the rate of inflation. So the money you're putting in, they're taking out, letting it slowly go up over time. Where by the time you retire, you actually put in $180,000. Ooh, your shares are now worth $250,000. Ooh, It's over 40 fucking years or or 20 years. They're robbing us. The system is, we've all heard how America has been financialized. We are a financial hub of the world. Well, how does a financialized system make profit? They take from the investors of the financialized system. And who are the investors? 401ks. See, the problem in the 90s, those of you who weren't even born yet then, the problem with the 90s were that Americans were getting too wealthy. Now, they weren't all getting rich, but they were getting wealthier. So they had to make a little change. All right, let's roll out NAFTA. Let's take all their jobs. Let's inflate their currency. Let's do that. Because guys, let this sink in. 23% of all of America's GDP. All right. GDP is gross domestic production. 23% of that is said to come from the government. Let me say that again. Gross domestic production, and 23% of that comes from the government. Has anybody seen the government produce anything? Now, they will tell you, well, we give grants and money to subcontractors. Okay, so you're choosing winners and losers of corporations and companies. And you're not leaving it up to the free market. No. So, really, federal government, you're just a middleman. You print or you tax, and you allocate capital, 23% of our GDP, into the economy. You allocate the capital. Yes. Oh, okay. That sounds totally legit. I mean, it's not like the government's crooked or nothing. Right. Look at this. The UK government now accounts for 50% of the UK's GDP. During World War I, it was 5%. If you've wondered what has happened to the American and the UK, why has the private sector collapsed? Why has wages collapsed against real inflation? Because more of the economy has moved under government supervision. So the government got bigger. That's why we have so many agencies. This is absolutely insane, right? And I have another argument. Let me ask you this. There's a huge argument right now over AI. What kind of regulations should the government put in for AI? And you know, I am a fan of Trump. I am a Trump guy. But this whole US government AI, fuck that. And let me say why. Everyone's saying AI can either free us and make everything free, or it could kill us. Does any of the governments have a good record of not fucking shit up? It's like healthcare, right? If they're telling us there's a 20% chance that AI could totally fuck up everything and probably kill us all. Okay. Let's give that to the government. Let's let them regulate it. Because you know how good at regulating the federal government is. They'll regulate the CIA into everything. The governments are the least trusted entities in the world. Look it up. Every nation except El Salvador has the least trusted government in their whole country. All right. Let me say that more accurately. In every country, the least trusted entity is the government. So whose genius fucking idea is to give this supposedly percentagely dangerous, almost existential technology? Who are we going to give it to? The least trusted entity in the country? Now, we're learning more and more that the government is just a bunch of fucking liars, just a bunch of manipulating. Look what's going on with the pipe bombers, right? All of a sudden, we found a guy. This is absolutely insane. We now have proof that the government under Joe Biden falsified video of the bomber. And they put out intentionally unrecognizable video of the pipe bomber. We have evidence that AT&T reached out to the federal government and said, we have the cell phone data right here of the bomber. We got it right here. You guys want it? The FBI rejected the information, and then they lied. And they said that they had the information, but it was corrupted. So it was basically unusable. Oh yeah, we have the cell phone data, but it's corrupted, so we can't really use it. Guys, at what point, this is where I'm at what point do you tell the federal government to have a hot cup of fuck off? I ain't listening to a goddamn thing you say, because you're not credible. You are a corrupt entity. That's it. They are not legitimate. Any of these agencies are not legitimate. They're corrupt. They're anti-American people. At some point, you have to look at them and go, yeah, fuck you, I'm done. I am so fucking done with you. So what do I do? What's my answer? My answer is this: fuck their system, build your own. That's what we need to do, guys. We don't need to try and fix their corrupt, fucked up system. That makes no sense. We keep electing people who say they're going to fix the system. The system itself is corrupt. It was created to be corrupt. It was created to fuck us. That's like having a can of poison and saying, you know what, I'm going to fix this poison. No, just don't fucking drink it. How's that sound? Instead of trying to fix the poison of the federal government, just to fucking ignore it and go, oh yeah, that's poison. Yeah, I'm not fucking with poison. Because guys, the legal system is set up as a weapon. So no matter what you do, they'll find something on Joseph Stalin. Show me the man, and I'll show you the law he broke. Something like that. The law is a weapon against us. All right. How is it, and you can Google this shit, how is it the average American breaks 15 laws a day just living their life? We aren't talking about bank robbers. We aren't talking about fucking murderers. We aren't fucking talking about, bad people. But the average American breaks 15 laws a day. So shouldn't we all be in fucking jail? All right. This is what's crazy. Think about this. Prosecutors have what is called prosecutorial discretion. So they can choose to charge you or not. Wait a second. If it's a law, how can you choose to charge? If it's up to one person to choose to charge, then isn't the law really up to that one person? I think so. Because it's so obvious that this system is corrupt and way too big, because we have more regulations. Listen to this, folks. We have more regulations in America than we have people in America. Google that. We have more regulations in America than we have people in America. How do you navigate that system? Well, they tell you, hire a lawyer. Okay. They can still come after you. And if you go, well, that's what my lawyer told me. Well, that lawyer was wrong. I'm sorry. You're under arrest. The SEC did that with crypto people. Crypto people who had hired attorneys from the bar, and they gave them advice. They filed with the SEC, and then they wound up getting charged. Wait, I hired an SEC attorney. Yeah, he interpreted the law wrong. Wait, so the law is up to interpretation? Can interpretation be falsified? Can I say I interpret something one way, but not really mean it? Can I interpret it to align with my agenda? Can a judge interpret the law and go, I don't see it that way? You're going to go to jail because I interpret it that way. Because language is all interpretation. Legalese is wordsmithing. That's what legalese is. It's all wordsmithing. Oh, yes. Please smash the like, L-I-K. I don't know. I guess it would be like. Please hit the like and subscribe to whatever platform you're watching right now. And if you feel encouraged to piss off some of your friends, share this video with people. All right, hang on one second. Word from the sponsor.
A revolution in freedom-based investing begins right here, with Founders Group Worldwide. It all started with Bitcoin Ben, an ex-truck driver who saw that Bitcoin could power liberty itself through its groundbreaking technology. From his vision, an amazing network was built, and a growing community came together to create Founders Group Worldwide, a venture capital network for freedom, transparency, and opportunity across America and the world. Here, you the member, are the heart and soul of the venture capital. They review, vote, and fund the ventures that will shape tomorrow's decentralized economy. From oil to Bitcoin mining, transforming energy into digital wealth. Even flare gas becomes value. Energy reborn as Bitcoin. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Clubs, where Bitcoin and blockchain innovation meets opportunity. Connecting visionaries across the world. Resorts, tangible assets that create lifestyle and return. Where investment meets experience. Real estate, building the foundations of decentralized wealth. Secured by blockchain and powered by vision. Rooted in liberty, driven by community, protected by a private membership association. Pick up the phone and call 562-526-0813 extension 7, or visit foundersgroupworldwide.com. Join the Founders Group. The new rich revolution begins now.
See, that's why I launched the Founders Group, because we, for the last 3 years, almost 4 years now, good Lord, we have been setting up the new system. Because guys, I'm not playing in the old system anymore. I'm fucking done with it. Because it's corrupt, it is fucking shitty, and it takes advantage of people. No. We need a whole new system. That's why we got the credit union in El Salvador. That's why we got the resort in El Salvador. That's why we have our clubs. That's why we are doing all of this. This is the future, because we're going to make it the future, because we have the right system. We have the decentralized system, and we have to implicate it. We have to implement it. Whatever system you use is the system that's going to grow. All right? How we're setting this up. All right? For those of you who have watched my show, January, I'm launching a mining company. Now, that doesn't mean we'll actually be mining January 1. But January 1, I'm setting up the deals for the mining company, me and Jay. I'm going to set it up where you can invest in just a share of one. Let's use flare gas. Let's say we have one flare, and that produces, or that actually makes so much money each week or each month or each half year or something like that. You can own a share of that flare, because we have to decentralize energy. Everyone asks, well, what about universal basic income? Guys, initially, they're going to send you devalued US dollar tokens. That the more tokens they produce, the more inflation. Super. our system that we're rolling out will pay you in Bitcoin. This is the future because we are going to make it the future. If you hate the old system, quit fucking participating in it. Steve, what if you shift your 401k from Wall Street into the Founders Group? You are shifting that economic energy into a decentralized organization that you get to vote on. See, we invest in our hotels, in land, in our mining, the Founders Group is the way to invest in all of everything we are actually doing. The Founders Group gets an allocation of each company I launch. I think the Founders Group usually gets 10% of every company I launch. The Founders Group usually votes to allocate 10% of that for the Founders Group. This is how it's going to work. This is how the future is going to be. And I'm not waiting for JP Morgan to roll this shit out because they're going to drag their fucking feet. I'm not waiting for Hilton Hotels to set this out. I'm not waiting for Sandals to do this because they're not gonna. See, every club, every hotel, every resort, everything I've launched was from the beginning decentralized. Because that's the way I wanted it. I wanted all decentralized. Because if we don't decentralize America, America is going to centralize. Do you really believe? Do you really believe? Let me ask you this. Michael Saylor, if he really was in it for the people, with his shares that actually pay out a dividend, right now they pay cash. Why is he paying you cash? Because he knows the cash is being devalued. Why wouldn't he give you the option to send it to you in Bitcoin? And I'm not saying Michael Saylor's a bad guy. Not at all. I like Michael Saylor. I just wish if you're going to pay out the dividends to the people, don't send them the shit money. Send them the good money. That's really the key. Bingo. Why doesn't he? Because he wants it. And I don't blame him. But Michael Saylor is focused on the corporation. Michael Saylor's worried about strategy. I'm worried about America. I'm worried about the future of our fucking world. Ex-truck driver. I'm worried about the little guy. I could give, Michael, I love you, but fuck you. All right? I don't give a fuck that Michael Saylor gets richer. It's not going to make America better for Michael Saylor to get richer. He's already a fucking billionaire. But you know what will help America? If your neighbor, the plumber, gets wealthier, if you get wealthier, if the teacher down the road from your house gets wealthier, because then your neighborhood gets wealthier, your city gets wealthier, your county gets wealthier. All we ever hear about is Florida has one of the wealthiest counties in the world or in America. Okay, which one is the middle? Which county is in the middle or in the low? Let's worry about them. The wealthiest people, they're covered. Trust me, the old system's been covering their ass forever. I completely agree. Michael Saylor is building a new banking system. Michael Saylor is building a new banking system in alignment with the old system. Absolutely. Michael Saylor is going to create and roll the old system into the new system with a lot of the same bullshit from the old system. And it's not his fault. That's his world. That's what he does. The old system is how Michael Saylor became a fucking billionaire. So you think Michael Saylor's going to say, you know, that old system really done me good, but let's break it. Let's break it and decentralize capital. If he really wanted to help the American people and his shareholders, he would pay his shareholders out in Bitcoin. Why the fuck would you send them dollars if the whole point of your company is the devaluation of the fucking dollars? Hey guys, I love you guys so much. Here's some of that shit money that I don't want. Thanks, Mikey. Like I said, nothing against Michael Saylor. But if you really want to change people's lives, pay them out in Bitcoin. That's what I do. That's what my companies do. We're setting up a system where everyone who owns shares of each of our things and gets paid out through smart contracts with Bitcoin. That's what my whole system is being created to do. Because the system we build has to work for the people in the fucking system. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that kind of sound like it's a good idea? Why did Henry Ford raise the wage of his workers? So they could afford the fucking car they were building. Doesn't that kind of make sense? It does to me. Makes absolute fucking sense. And if we are going to decentralize the world, we have to decentralize the profit centers. What's a profit center? A resort. What's a profit center? A mining company. This is how we're going to do it. Because I don't give a fuck about wealthy people. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that's not who I'm concerned with. They'll be okay. I'm worried about the little guys and the medium guys and the medium gals who are working their ass off just to keep their heads above water. I mean, like I said, I'm a Trump guy. He announces that probably next year you ain't going to be paying taxes. That's great. That's fucking awesome. That's amazing. I'm all for it. But, guys, the money you're keeping in taxes, that's, like I said, that's great. That's devaluing. They are letting you keep more of your ice cube that is in their sauna. That's what they're doing. Here, you hang on to the money. Because they know that the system's fucking the money. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the money's screwed. Everyone in the world knows that fiat is screwed. Everyone. But yet, what do they say? We're just going to print some more. That'll make it better. And if I hear one more motherfucker who actually calls printing money growth, I'm going to slap the fuck out of somebody. Printing money is not growth. You hear it all the time. We're gonna get ourselves out of this by growth. Really? Because what they mean when they say growth, they're gonna print more money. They're gonna devalue their way out of this. I don't know. Let me put it this way. I'm about 6'2". All right. What if I said I'm gonna grow by going to 5'5"? But you're not really growing, you're getting smaller. Yeah, but I'm going to call it growth. It's all bullshit. This whole system, this whole government, this whole NASDAQ, this whole New York City Stock Exchange. They're saying, don't worry, we're going to tokenize the New York City stock. Oh, Willie, so your high frequency trading algorithms can actually trade shit quicker? Awesome, great job. That's fucking amazing. Because that's what the high speed trading algorithms, they are the straw that sucks the money out of the system into the financial entities. That's it. As more and more 401ks put money into the system, these high frequency trading algorithms, and then when you originally bought whatever shares, it was worth $25. 40 years later, it's worth 40. Thanks. It's all bullshit. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because what we need to do is take the shit money that they're printing the fuck out of and put it into entities and companies that are set up so it doesn't go through a fucking system. There's no sucking of the straws. It goes through a smart contract. And you get what the profit is of the company, your share. You get that share. There ain't there's no high frequency trading algorithm in between there trying to suck out your fucking money. This is the new system. And if they don't like it, fuck them. Come get me, motherfuckers. And please take me to court. No lawyer. because this is legal. Absolutely fucking legal, and they know it. And that's why none of them have came after me. Because I ain't like your normal motherfucker. You aren't going to drag me into court and think that I'm going to fucking cut a deal. No, I'm not going to hire a lawyer because that's your fucking employee. Because he works for the system. Why would you hire a lawyer who works for the system? You wouldn't. This is the future, whether they like it or not, because we have to rise up, and we don't have to fight their system. We just have to not participate anymore and say, no, I'm switching over to this new system. Fuck you. That's why we're all in Bitcoin, because we all know the system of the dollar is evil, and it was created to be evil. Right? They didn't launch fiat money not knowing the result of launching fiat money. They knew exactly what this system was. If so, the government could grab its straw, put it into the economy, and pull it out. Guys, when I was in Washington, D.C., this is why I got so mad when I went to Washington, D.C. lately. Because it's beautiful. It's absolutely one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen in my fucking life. And they don't produce jack fuck. No one's going out and fucking buying a Chevy truck that was produced in Washington, D.C. proudly. No. All they produce is regulation. And that regulation is just allocation of capital into a chosen company. That's it. It's all rigged. It's all fake. Because the money's fake. Let me ask you a question. Do you really think that these billionaires and pretty soon trillionaires, all of these motherfuckers, do you think they're really in it for the money? Let's remember, who makes the money? Who produces the money? The Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve is linked with the financial system. That's the source of the financial system. Do you really think they're in it for the fucking money? They print the money. Let me ask you a question. If you grow apples, if you have an apple farm, are you going to swing over to the grocery store and buy apples? No, you aren't going to worry about your apple supply. Why? Because you produce it. You got as many apples as you fucking want. Why do you think the Federal Reserve and government, why do you think it's about the money? They make the money. It isn't. It isn't about the money. It's about the control. It's the way you manage the economy so the future you want is what you get. If you allocate the representation of labor energy, the area of the economy that you inject that labor energy in will grow. Look at the universities. How the fuck does a university have like a $300 billion reserve, a university. They sell information. They sell propaganda. They are the organization set up to propagandize the next generation of the system. When you have a college that has a degree for government affairs, you are learning the system of the government. So you are the next wave of shitheads working for the government into the government system. All right. I've ranted enough and I got shit to do. Oh, okay. There's a QR code right here. All right. We offer public shares of our resort, of our mining, of our clubs. You can actually purchase one share of our resort. Each entity only has 100,000 shares. Right? There'll be no more shares of the resort. There'll be no more shares of the mining company. They're all fucking capped at 100,000 shares. That's it. And as the resort produces income, the shareholders receive their share of the profits of the resort in a smart contract. That's what we are working to build. And you as an owner, you'll have a referral link to the resort. And you'll actually make a portion off of that. That's how I'm setting it up. This is how we take over the world. We provide a better service and we decentralize all this shit. All right. So if you are interested in shares of whatever, give us a call, 941-391-3882, or right here, there's a QR code right there, or there's a link under the video. I think it's actually BBC shares or something like. It's right under here. It's the very first link. Lena, who is a Founders Group member. Lena says Founders Group, best investment ever. Hun, you're not only going to make money, you are going to change the world. That's why I called it the Founders Group. Like the founders of America. Because we are the founders of the new system. Link, QR right there. Or you can give us a call or text us at 941-391-3882. Love you guys. Have a great day, and I will see you guys on Monday. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
A revolution in freedom-based investing begins right here, with Founders Group Worldwide. It all started with Bitcoin Ben, an ex-truck driver who saw that Bitcoin could power liberty itself through its groundbreaking technology. From his vision, an amazing network was built, and a growing community came together to create Founders Group Worldwide, a venture capital network for freedom, transparency, and opportunity across America and the world. Here, you the member, are the heart and soul of the venture capital. They review, vote, and fund the ventures that will shape tomorrow's decentralized economy. From oil to Bitcoin mining, transforming energy into digital wealth. Even flare gas becomes value. Energy reborn as Bitcoin. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Clubs, where Bitcoin and blockchain innovation meets opportunity. Connecting visionaries across the world. Resorts, tangible assets that create lifestyle and return. where investment meets experience. Real estate, building the foundations of decentralized wealth. Secured by blockchain and powered by vision. Rooted in liberty, driven by community, protected by a private membership association. Pick up the phone and call 562-526-0813 extension 7, or visit foundersgroupworldwide.com. Join the Founders Group. The new rich revolution begins now.